Okay, I want to cut across to India Today's Prema Rajaram because every bit of information needs to be verified from ground zero before we put this out for our viewers. Prema, what's the voting like early in the morning in the initial phase? Crucial first leg of elections in Bengal.
Absolutely, Gaurav. A crucial first phase of elections in West Bengal. I'm here at Midnapur at a polling booth, and the Trinamool Congress candidate of Midnapur, June Malia, was also an actress. She's here inside the booth because she had gone to booths earlier and had said that there were some places where she felt that her name was not properly visible on the EVM for people to see, and hence has spoken to the polling officers here at the various booths and asked them to rectify the mistakes. But she has not just noticed it in one booth, she has noticed it in quite a few booths, and that is what is her concern, which is why she's stopping and waiting for a while, going to each booth, carefully checking whether the problem is rectified in certain places. And there are people standing in huge lines over here, Gaurav. If you can see the huge lines of people standing here waiting to vote, and all of them here expecting to, of course, bring in whatever issues that they have in mind, and that kind of change that should be brought in, whether it's the present government or the another government that comes in. But the fact is, whether it is a peaceful election, what June Malia said, that things are happening peacefully, things are going on peacefully, but we are getting reports in certain places of certain incidents of violence, but not major violence. But in certain places we are getting that. But in the initial phases, what we have seen, that over here people coming out in large numbers. But in this particular booth, Gaurav, I must tell you that when June Malia entered this booth, there were some BJP supporters who were chanting various slogans. So that is what we are seeing here on ground in Midnapur. And this, of course, when we're talking about the Midnapur belt, certain parts of it were erstwhile Maoist belts of West Bengal. Back to you, Gaurav.
Stay with me for a moment. I also want to quickly bring in India Today's Indrajit Kundu. There's a big story that's already coming in, given the fact that there is a spike in tension between the BJP Karyakartas and the TMC workers. The TMC is sending a big delegation to the Bengal Election Commission at 12 noon today. 10 TMC MPs are to meet Bengal Election Commission officials at 12 noon. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Indrajit Kundu, breaking this big story for us. Indrajit, polling has just started. The TMC up in arms. What's their grouse? Why are they reaching out to the Election Commission at 12 noon today?
Well, that's right, Gaurav. This was announced yesterday by Trinamool Congress spokesperson Derek O'Brien, who said a parliamentary delegation of the Trinamool Congress comprising of 10 MPs will be visiting the Chief Electoral Officer's office in Kolkata with a bunch of complaints that they have, with a bunch of grievances that they have regarding, posting of central forces. In fact, even as we speak, we are getting flooded with complaints that are coming in from the Trinamool Congress. And most of these complaints, if I can read out, are coming from a Paschim Medinipur district in which the Trinamool claims that in Gorbeta constituency and in Shamnagar area, BJP supporters have entered the polling stations. Voters are not being allowed, and presiding officer is supporting them. This is from Gorbeta. In another place in Paschim Medinipur, in Medinipur constituency, they are saying BJP workers are mobilizing the CRPF. In Medinipur, booth number 172, they are saying BJP has entered the polling station. So these are the kind of complaints that we are getting from the Trinamool Congress right now. We can expect later in the afternoon, when the TMC delegation visits the Chief Electoral Officer's office, they will be raising these matters up. But on the ground here at Kathi, this is of course in East Midnapur district. This is where Shubhendu Adhikari lives. This is the hometown of Shubhendu Adhikari in Kathi, Dakshin. We are here at the PK, college in Kathi, which is just next to Shubhendu Adhikari's residence, Shanti Kunjo. And I will try and ask my camera person to give you a sense of what's happening out here. There is a long queue. There's a long queue of people who are standing here, and there are 3 central security personnel whom I can see who have been deployed. 3 central security force personnel. There are 2 polling stations adjacent to one another. And one interesting fact is, as you can see, all the voters who are here, they're all wearing masks, and there are personnel that have been deployed right at the gate of the polling station, where they are checking through using of thermal scanners. They're checking the temperature of the person, and hand sanitizer is also being given. If somebody comes without a mask, there is a provision to give them mask as well. So we should not forget that this election, this mega election, is taking place in the midst of a pandemic, at a time when once again the COVID curve is going up, and therefore the Election Commission making sure that after the elections are over, there isn't a huge surge in COVID cases. That always remains an apprehension, and that is being taken care of, Gaurav, at all these polling stations. Back to you.
That's